it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is another viewer request, and it is my brow routine. Exciting. I kind of feel like this is unfair because I have actually naturally some pretty decent brows. I don't have a lot of work to do, but it's because I think of my maintenance routine. So I do show you my maintenance routine to show you how my brows are naturally like this, and then I show you how I fill them in. And this is my brows filled in, but I just wanted to let you know, yes, I know I have good brows to begin with, but it was requested of me, so I'm just fulfilling that request of how I do my brows. And before we get into that, I did want to say voting for the next Something Old, which will be happening next week, is up on my Instagram right now. It's between the Moondust palette and the After Dark palette by Urban Decay, and I really want to hear your input on which one you would like. So the link for that Instagram post will be down below, and I can't wait to see who wins. And I also wanted to remind you I have a giveaway going right now. I'll link that down below as well, so you can go ahead and enter that. It is open until the end of the month. Let's just jump right into my brows. So first I start out with eyebrow maintenance. So my tools I have are a spoolie, tweezers, and scissors. This is how I take care of my brows at home. I get them waxed maybe a couple times a year, and that's it. Other than that, I just tweeze and trim at home. So what I do, as you just saw, is I spoolie through them, comb them out so they're laying like I want them to lay, and then I just take my tweezers and take any hairs that are obviously outside the line of my brow. So since I do this pretty regularly, I don't have a lot to take off, but that's all I take off. Then I put the tweezers down. I do not try and reshape them. I do not go into the brows themselves, just like down here where there's hair growing that shouldn't be, and like up here if there were anything that was growing that shouldn't be. Other than that, put them down. That's how my brows are so nice and full, is I do not over tweeze, and I have never over tweezed. I know I grew up in the era of pencil thin brows, but I never did that to myself, and I just want to tell so many people, please put the tweezers down. It'll help you so much. So the next thing I do is trim. So I spoolie everything straight up, and then I take a little pair of scissors. These are like my planning sticker scissors, and I just go along the outer edge of my brow and I trim off anything that is sticking out, just like that. Let's do that on the other side. Ooh, that one's a little wild and unruly. So whatever sticks out. And that is how I maintain my brows. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some foundation on and all of that, and show you how I fill them in. I like to do my base products first. That way, if I get makeup on my brows, I'm not covering up the fill-in job that I already did. So I will be right back. Alright, so I've got my base makeup on, so now I can move on to filling in my brows. I do vary the methods that I choose to fill them in with. Sometimes I use a pomade, sometimes I use a powder, but most of the time I will use a pencil. That is my go-to and that's what you usually see me wearing in videos, is a pencil. And I use multiple pencils. I have several pencils in my collection, but I lately have been favoring the Benefit Goof Proof, which has this crazy shape. I like that it has a fine tip for drawing hair-like strokes, but also is a little bit thicker, so it fills in a little bit faster. And I have the shade 2, which I think is like their dark blonde shade, and that's usually what I go for, is like a dark blonde or a taupey shade. And what I do is I take a spoolie. This pencil has a spoolie on the other side, and I spoolie everything up, and then I take the pencil and I underline my entire brow. So I just outline the entire underside of my brow, and then what I do is I take the finer point and I draw hair-like strokes in the sparse area at the beginning of my brow. Just flick it upwards and angle it as the hairs angle. And then I take the spoolie and I blend that out. And I blend through the line that I drew. And then I comb my hairs downward. And I take the pencil starting at where it goes across at the highest point, matching that, drawing a straight line to the corner, then going around the corner. So we're sort of outlining the top of the brow without outlining the front, because I don't want it to look blocky. And then these sparse areas in here, I just take that bigger end and fill them in, and take my spoolie, comb my brows back up. And then just go through, add a little bit extra in the front. And that is one brow. This is my good brow. So it looked really easy for me to do because this is my easy brow. This one's gonna be a little more difficult for me. My right side is a little bit harder, probably because I'm left-handed. And it's gonna be a little bit more of a struggle. And it has a little more of some bald spots. So comb it up and then underline it. And draw those hairs in the front. And spoolie it out. And comb it down. And draw a line straight across to the corner and come down and around. Fill in the sparse areas. And this one I kind of have to fake the corner. As you can see, I filled it in with pencil where there's actually no hair there, because that's kind of a bald spot for me. And then add a little extra to the front. Remove the product that I combed up. And then the next step, and pretty much the final step, is to set my brows with a clear gel. I prefer a clear gel because I fill in exactly the amount of product that I want. So I don't want to add a color gel and add more filling in and more thickness. It gets out of control and looks too bushy. So I don't carve out my brows either, because the way I outline them, I feel it looks pretty crisp and sharp already, and I like the level of crisp and sharp it is because it still looks slightly soft and natural. Not a huge fan of those super carved out Instagram brows. So I am just taking NYX Control Freak. It's just a clear brow gel. I don't have a favorite clear brow gel. To me, they pretty much all seem the same. And I'm just spooling my hairs straight up and then taking over the top of those hairs and laying them down. To give it kind of a feathery look. So do it with the other eyebrow. Spoolie straight up. It's gonna look a little bit insane. Looks a little bit insane. And then go over the top and lay those hairs down. And there you have it. And that is my entire brow routine, from maintenance, tweezing and trimming, to filling in and setting my brows. If you have any questions or any requests for any other like basic makeup routines, or just walking through basic things, I'd love to hear what you want to see down below. If you have more sparse brows than I do, and you have tips for how to fill in those more sparse brows, we'd love to hear them down below, because I know not everybody, you know, didn't tweeze their brows in the 90s and early 2000s. A lot of people did, and a lot of people are stuck with really thin brows and have to work really hard to fill them in. So if you have any tips or tricks for people like that, definitely leave them down below. I'm sure they will be appreciated. And thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you've not already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!